All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Every Day with Sheréa. Let me get centered here. Welcome to Every Day with Sheréa, your daily goal accountability moment. I'm Sheréa VéJauan, co-founder of the Goal Setters Club, author of the 2023 Goals Journal, and my goal is to check in with you Monday through Friday to help you with any resources, tips, support, accountability, cheering you on as you reach your 2023 goals. I know it's almost March, and we put the vision board away, we have put our goals away, and now we're just living life. So I'm here to help you stay encouraged on the goals that you have set for yourself. Today's topic is schedule the life you want to live. Schedule the life you want to live. And I also want you to consider to schedule the life you want to love. Sometimes we live life, but we don't love the life that we live. So I want you to schedule the life that you want to love. And there is a quote inside of your planner. If you have my 2023 planner by Stephen Covey, it says the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. And so today we're going to talk about how to get organized with what really matters and schedule the life you want to live. So you can also, like if you use the Google Calendar, I like to personally handwrite my schedules and my plans and my bills. I like to handwrite it for different reasons: therapy, self-care, reflection. But you can, and then I also take that same handwritten and I put it inside of my Google Calendar and then color code it. So you can also color code. So a lot of people start with all the life altering schedules, like work or doctor or kids or this. I don't think we have an issue with scheduling those priorities. I think we don't schedule when it comes to us, when it comes to our goals, when it comes to our dreams, when it comes to our passions, when it comes to self-care, because by the time we get to that category and we're scheduling our priorities, and there's no more space. And so if we want to have more time with ourselves, we have to schedule it. If we want to spend more time with the kids, we have to schedule that. If you want to spend more time with your spouse, you have to schedule it. If you've been waiting to write that book for 15 years now, well, guess what? It's not going to handwrite itself. You have to schedule the time to write. I did a video not too long ago called "It Takes What It Takes." It takes what it takes. If you're writing a book, I know, because I write a book every single year, the Goals Journal. And even though some people may think we just slap a new cover with a new color on it, it's not true. Like, we go through it, we work through it as we change, as we learn new things, as we read new books, we go in and we update. And so I spend the whole year writing on that book. So every 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, if you're trying to write, you write every day. If you're trying to start a business, you have to schedule that time in to work on starting that business. So I want to show you, if you have my 2023 Strategy Saturday planner, I believe there's on the website, it's called Triple Threat. You get the calendar, you get the Strategy Saturday calendar, and you get your no, it's not called Triple Threat. It's called the Strategy Saturday kit, because there's a different planner. So it's the Strategy Saturday planner, it's the 2023 Goals Journal, and it's the Business Marketing Planner. And that is a digital version inside of my website if you have that. I am going to, let's see if that comes up for me. Okay, there we go. So this is the Strategy Saturday planner. I'm just going to jump to page, I think it's page 96. Okay, so I use this to start my week and just sitting. So I start with reflection, which I encourage you to do instead of planning out your week. Same with the Goals Journal, taking your goals from last year, putting it onto this year, setting up your calendar for this week. You want to this time you want to look at last week. How did last week go? What was my overall mood last week? What do I want to change last week? Last week I felt some type of way, and I don't want to feel that way again. How do I make sure that doesn't happen this week? Could I do anything better next week to see better results? What do I need to stop doing? Am I on track? My yearly goals based on my planning. And so just taking the first, 10 minutes, I probably spend a little bit more time with this, but then I also get up early, spending some time like really, really reflecting on last week. I had a little bit of an emotional week last week. I had to deal with 3 different situations where I tried to help somebody, but it put me at risk, and I had to make some decisions this week to say, I can't do that anymore. Even though it's my nature, it's like second nature to help or to do this or see what else can I do, how else can I go the extra mile. But that extra mile isn't always appreciated by everyone. Even though it's something that you feel good about doing, it may not always be good in the end. And so this week, unfortunately, those were the last 2. Those are the last 3 people that reaped the benefit of me going the extra mile on that. So this week I have to protect myself, I have to protect my family, and I have to say no. And so there's a saying that says say it with your chest. So this week it's going to be a lot of say it with your chest. Like, no, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that for you. I apologize. I'm not going to be able to do that for you. And that's how that's going to be rolling this week. So sorry. And then I have a space where I can put, extra things. Like even though I know in my head I'm going to say it with my chest, even though I know that I have to set boundaries this week, that hurts me. That's going to be hard for me. And so then I have another space over here that I may need to write some extra words, how I feel, how it makes me feel, and just staying focused on the end result and why that's the best decision to make at this time, right? And then I start planning my week. Okay, now I know how last week went. I know how I want this week to go, at least in that area. Now let me go ahead and set my goals, this week's goals, this week's priority, and then you have your personal to-do list, and then you have your habit tracker. I told a lot of you guys that I started the keto diet, and I also started intermittent fasting. So my last meal was at 4 p.m. So I go from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. And then I'm also counting my calories. So I think I'm 1271 calories a day. And so my habit tracker, sometimes I feel like with the keto, especially the breakfast, I usually do like a sausage and scrambled egg, or like a turkey sausage, scrambled egg. Lunch, I usually do like a chicken and a vegetable. But sometimes I feel like when I did the plant-based diet, that I had more vegetables and more fruit, more whole grains. And so the keto feels a little different than any diet that I've taken on. I get it, like I understand it, but I feel like I don't get all of my vitamins in. So on my habit tracker for this week, just making sure that I also take my vitamins just in case I'm missing something during this diet process, making sure I'm drinking my water, making sure I'm exercising, making sure that I'm making my lunches and making my breakfasts, because if I miss breakfast and lunch, I'm kind of messed up, especially if it hits 4 o'clock, making sure I keep my snacks with me. So my habit tracker, and then I try to plan out my week. And I do all this by hand before I put it in my digital planner. And I just find a place to sit. Okay, so here's next week, and then notes, and then each day there's a space to put my priorities or my top goal for that day. So my top goal for that day, and then my top priorities. And then weekly bills. So, we do our monthly bills at the end of the month. So now at the end of the month, we're going to be working on our March bills for the month. But you also want to keep track of your weekly bills. I was saying the other day, like, okay, the first comes like 12 midnight, and if you're on auto pay, your phone is just like ring, 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 ring. This is due, this is due, this is due, this is due. And so you don't want to be caught off guard. You want to kind of look at your bank account and know what's happening for this week. And then we also talked about your birthdays. You have birthdays coming up, you have anniversaries coming up. Are you planning that in your weekly bills? And then your meal plan. I used to be a lot better at this, and I have to get better again. But planning out your weekly meal plan, especially if you're on a special diet like keto or like plant-based, or if you're doing, vegan meal, vegetarian, you want to make sure you plan your meals, because when you're out and about and you don't, the world is not set up for you to help you on the plan that you set for yourself. So if you're on a special diet, if you're trying to make sure you're having no carbs, well, guess what? It's carb city out there. If you're trying to do no carbs, low carbs, good luck on that. So you got to make sure that you plan your meals, not just every day, but in advance. So if you're planning on Saturday and making your lunches, then you know that you're setting yourself up for the week, right? Okay, and then your weekly goal accountability tracker. This tracker used to be inside of the goals journal. I pulled that out because, it was like an extra 60 pages putting the tracker in. So we ended up taking that out and made that a separate worksheet to put inside of your Strategy Saturday planner. So this is for your goals only. Even though it looks like a planner, this is, if you set your top 12 goals for 2023, now you're incorporating your weekly routines inside this schedule. So if you said you want to lose weight, you said you wanted to drink more water, then you want to schedule that in. If you said you want to buy a house, and then you're scheduling your savings plan. If you said you wanted to have more fun, you're scheduling in your fun. So if you said you want to travel to Barcelona or wherever, in November, what are you doing every week to make that trip a possibility? Getting your passport, talking to your travel agent, saving your money, getting the right travel credit card, working on getting your suitcase together. Don't wait till November if you're traveling, start every week. So this is your weekly goal accountability tracker to help you track the goals that you set for yourself in the beginning of the year. Right? So that is how I plan my week. And again, you could take that same Strategy Saturday planner and you can upload it into your Good Notes if you have an iPad. And that way, if you like to write digitally, you could do that too. All right. All right. So thank you for joining me. This is Schedule the Life You Want to Love. Schedule the life you want to live. If you want to have more time for yourself, if you want to have more time for your family, if you want to have more time for your business, if you want to have more time for your passions, your dreams, then you have to schedule it. It takes what it takes. All right. I will see you guys on tomorrow. Have a good day.